Hey guys, we're back with another video, just a short one this time. And I'm going to just kind of explain a little bit on the spacers. Y'all probably know this, but just to go over it, well, I'll make sure you're clear about it. Here's a typical 4-hole spacer, and it's made out of wood. So that means you're going to get insulation factor when you run your car and it gets hot on a hot day and you cut it off and you come back and it grinds over 10, 15 times before it ever tries to crank, acts like it's little flooded. It's because it's boiling the gas because the carburetors get too hot. This spacer here is made out of wood, old plywood, and a phenolic material or a wood material is a good insulator. It helps cool the carburetor down. There's a lot of things other than that. We'll get to that later. But this is the first one to a good start with putting a phenolic spacer, which I don't have. It's a plastic type spacer, or the wood spacer. This is another wood spacer. Now that's a 4-hole spacer here. That ain't going to add to your plenum volume. This is going to start adding to your plenum volume. This is a 1-inch wood, but it's an insulated type. It's wood material. Here's another 1-inch, just an open spacer, so it adds to your actual plenum volume in your intake. And if you really think you need a different type of intake, like maybe you think you're running out of air fuel before you should, and you think it's mostly due to maybe you put a Victor during your intake where it should have a Super Victor, you can put this big old 2-inch spacer on, and it will usually pick up. And that's a good sign that you need a bigger runner and a bigger intake, which would be like going from the Victor Junior to the Super Victor. Okay, and then you get into these, like these. These are adapters where you can take a bolt of quadrajet down where Holly was, and it gives you the spreadboard type material here. Enough room where it'll clear Rochester quadrajet, and it's just an adapter more or less. All right, that's pretty much all of it. Just remember, spacers have more than one performance gain sometimes. Like if you are running, we're going to get into intake videos later, but if you're running a dual plane, sometimes you can run a 1-inch spacer, and instead of, if the divider's not cut out, you can actually put a 1-inch spacer in there, and it does the same thing as if you bought one with the divider cut out, or you cut the divider out 1 inch. And that changes the fuel where it can move over from one side to the other and pick up higher RPM. It gives you the advantage of the dual plane, low and mid-range RPM. You still got that, and you get to pick up some on the top. Usually it's like 500 RPMs. Okay, guys, this is, like I say, this is just a quick, short video showing you the different spacers. Aluminum's all right, but aluminum transfers heat to the carburetor. Wood and phenolic is the best spacer you can put on because you're insulating the carburetor from the intake manifold. And there's other things you can do we'll get into later to help keep the carburetor cool and make it run properly. Guys, have a good week, and y'all stay safe.